So good evening, everybody, and I want to thank everybody for taking the time tonight to join us for a special early look at M City condominiums in Mississauga. The response to this project has been unbelievable, and we're really, really excited to bring this project to our clients and to our buyers. We've been blown away by the response to this webinar, and the interest level for this call tonight has been way higher than we expected. And we actually had to increase the number of seats earlier today because we had to call the webinar provider. We ran out of space, so we had to increase that. So just to give you an idea of just the level of demand that this project is generating. Even though this is a virtual audience tonight, it's probably the biggest crowd I've spoken in front of. So again, I'm going to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. And we really hope we're going to bring some value to you. We've been selling pre-construction condominiums for a very, very long time, and we've worked on some of the best projects across the GTA over the last 7-8 years. But again, the early demand and the buzz for this particular project is right up there with the best of them. So to say that we're excited to bring this one to you is very much an understatement. We are going to go through a lot of information tonight, but just in case you missed something or want to go back on anything, you're going to receive a copy of the slide deck, and we're going to send out a recording of this webinar, which is going to be available to you until Monday at midnight. Once we finish the webinar, you're going to receive an email with all that information. My name is Roy Bhandari, and I'm a co-founder of TalkCondo.com, and I'm a real estate broker with Sage Real Estate. Our team specializes in pre-construction condominiums, and we help buyers like yourself secure units at very, very high demand launches, just like this one. We recently had a chance to sit down and do a video interview with the developers of M City Condos. Mark Reeves, one of the co-founders of Urban Capital, and John Anderton, who's a VP of the Rogers Private Companies. We really enjoy doing these interviews. They give our viewers and clients a great access to developers and help show just how passionate they are about these projects and buildings that they're building. If you haven't already, we really recommend that you watch the video to get some really great insights to this project. So this evening, we're obviously going to talk a lot about M City Condos in Mississauga, but we do want to highlight that tonight is a pre-launch webinar. The project itself is going to be launching next Wednesday, and this is actually the first time that we've ever run a webinar a week before the condo launch, and there's actually a very good reason for it. Number one, the first reason is that the early demand for M City has been abnormally high. We've been getting pounded by inquiries and questions about this project for the last month or so. And so we felt that the best thing to do was to do a webinar and answer all the questions in one shot. The second and probably the most important reason for running this webinar a week before the condo launches is because in this market, we really believe that the buyers who are well prepared before the project launches are going to be the best place to secure their suites. The two most recent major launches in the market of this year have been Iconic Condos in Vaughan and Time and Space Condos in Toronto. And the buyers that were successfully able to secure their preferred suites were the ones who were prepared before the launch. So by the time we get the floor plans and we get the pricing, the buyers already know everything else about the project and they're able to quickly make that decision. Tonight, we're going to help you get prepared and get one step closer to securing your suite at M City. So before we go any further, we want to make it very, very clear on what not to expect tonight. M City has not yet launched, so we're not going to be talking about prices. The developer will not release the prices until March 22. Usually a week before, we're a week before right now, that even the developers haven't finalized the pricing. So the pricing is going to be completely unknown until a week from now. At this stage, all we know is that suites will start from 200,000, but other than that, there's no further information. We're not going to be discussing project specifics such as maintenance fees or deposit structure or completion date, again, because we don't know them yet. All this information is going to be released next week. So here's what we are going to cover today. This webinar is designed to give you all the information that we can give you to get you as prepared as possible for the launch next week. We're going to talk about the importance of working with a platinum broker to help you get VIP access to this new condo project. We're going to spend some time talking about the project itself, and we're going to talk about the developer, the location, the master plan that they're building there, the condominium project itself, and finally, the timelines and how you're going to be able to purchase a suite next week. We do expect this project to sell very fast, so the dates and timelines are going to be very, very, very important to note. So some of you on the call tonight have been on our list for a little while, so you're probably already familiar with the concept of Platinum VIP agents. But we do have a lot of new people joining us, so we do want to spend a little bit of time on this and just highlight the importance of this. When it comes to buying a pre-construction condo suite at the launch, especially when demand is very high, your chances of success and actually getting a suite allocated will increase dramatically if you're working with the right agent. Developers essentially have tiers of brokers in which they release the suites to. And in the industry, the top tiered group is called the Platinum VIP agent. And this is the group that typically controls the inventory at a new launch. And your chances of successfully securing a suite at the launch is increased dramatically if you're working with the right agent. So naturally, there's a couple of follow-up questions. How do you know if you're working with a true Platinum agent? And the truth is you probably won't, because everybody will tell you that they are. But true Platinum agents are not hard to identify. There's a reason that we get to interview the developers a month before the condo is launched. And there's a reason that we get access to the draft floor plans a week before the condo launches. And this is information that the typical agent does not. Platinum agents typically focus solely on pre-construction condominiums, and they develop these relationships with the developers and the sales teams over time. And they also typically have a large voice in the media or online. With TalkCondo, you can rest assured that you're working with Platinum brokers with true access to the best condo projects. Another follow-up question that we get a lot is whether or not you'll be guaranteed a unit by working with a Platinum real estate broker. And the answer to that, unfortunately, is no. At the end of the day, there's only so much inventory, and while your chances are dramatically increased by working with the right agent or by getting prepared well in advance, there's no guarantee of suite allocation. We will definitely aim to fulfill as many requests as humanly possible. So next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the development team. We always emphasize the importance of working with reputable builders when you're buying pre-construction condos. For this particular project, there are two development teams here. The first, as most of you already know, is the Rogers Real Estate Group. This is a division of the Rogers Group, and the second developer here is Urban Capital, who are one of the top builders across Canada. The land here is actually owned by the Rogers family and has been with them since the 1960s, when they purchased over 30 hectares for $170,000, which today wouldn't even be enough to purchase the cheapest suite at M-City Condos. The parcel of land was purchased by Ted Rogers, who passed away in 2008. The development of this parcel has been in active planning for the last 7 years. And the Rogers family really want to have this project leave a legacy. And it's why they've put so much emphasis on high quality architecture, amenities and design, and they truly want this condominium and community as a whole to be the best in class in Mississauga. And so Rogers have teamed up with Urban Capital, who specialize in very forward-thinking, multi-phased, high-design condominium projects. So it's a perfect marriage of what Rogers envisioned for the land and what Urban Capital bring to the table. Urban Capital are one of our favorite developers to work with, and they've built condominiums in Toronto, Winnipeg, Halifax, Ottawa, and Montreal. And some of our favorite condo projects by Urban Capital include the three River City phases, which have won numerous awards for their design achievements. Smart House Condos in downtown Toronto at Queen Anne University, and Nicholas Condos just south of Yonge-and-Bloor, just to name a few. Urban Capital really understand what it takes to build and live in an urban settings, and they're bringing all of that expertise with them at M-City. At M-City, they're not just trying to build a condominium building. What they're trying to do is build an entire community, and the goal here is to turn this community into a place. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. So next up, we're going to talk about the location of M-City. Most of you already know where M-City is going to be built. The land is located at Burnham Thorpe and Confederation Parkway and runs all the way to Grand Park. It's centrally located right in the heart of downtown Mississauga. Some quick facts about Mississauga. It is Canada's 6th largest city and the 3rd largest in Ontario, with a population of 766,000. This population is expected to grow by more than 100,000 people by 2041, and if you know Mississauga, you'll know that there is not an abundant amount of land available for new low-rise homes. So the majority of this new housing is going to be through high-rise condominiums, and this is going to be the future of housing in Mississauga. There's currently 86,000 businesses operated in the city, with 552,000 jobs projected by 2041. Mississauga city centre is centrally located. You've got quick access to the 3 major highways, Highway 401, 403 and the QEW, and you're nearby the major Go Transit hub. Mississauga city centre is also a retail hub. The big draw here is obviously Square One, where there's which is one of the largest retail destinations with 1.8 million square foot of retail space. And if you've been there recently, you'll see that they just opened the brand new wing, 130,000 square foot of brand new retail, which includes Holt Renfrew, which has really helped elevate Square One as a luxury mall. So next we're going to talk about what I personally think is probably one of the most important parts of M-City, and that's the master plan community. So a very large percentage of our client base is made up of condo investors. One of our personal favorite investment strategies is buying during the early phases of a master plan community. It's one of the most tried and trusted methods of real estate investing, and it's a strategy that has served our clients very, very well. In our video interview with the developers for M-City, one of the questions we asked them was what advice they have for first-time condo investors. And Mark Reeves, one of the co-founders of Urban Capital, said something that we 100% agree with, and that quote is right on the screen. He said, "I can't think of a better place to start than the first phase of a master plan community. With 10 buildings to come, because all ships rise with the tide, and there will definitely be some price appreciation as we move through each subsequent phase. I think this would be a great place for somebody to start." However, what we've come to realize is that not all master plan communities are built equal. It's more than just building after building, condo after condo. The best master plan communities, and ultimately the ones that make our clients the most returns, are the ones where the developers pay attention to the community as a whole. The M-City master plan is all about building the community first, and there's been just as much planning in place at the ground level as there has been for each building. And this is great news, because this is what's going to help set this community apart from everything else that's at Square One. Rogers and Urban Capital hired a company called Cooper Robertson. And if you're not familiar with Cooper Robertson, they're one of the top urban design firms in North America. They're based out of New York City, and they spent a lot of time on making this community very pedestrian friendly. They've got a brand new 2-acre park that they're going to build, and there's going to be really high quality retail all across the ground level. It's this attention to detail that's really going to elevate this set of buildings and will turn M-City into a place in Mississauga rather than just a new condominium building. Next up, we're going to talk specifically about M-City Condos Phase 1. This is the first of 10 new condominiums that are going to be built as part of the M-City project. At 60 stories tall, it's going to be the tallest condominium in Mississauga, and for those keeping score, the current tallest building is 56 stories, which is Tower 1 of the Marilyn Monroe buildings. Rogers have made sure that this is a standout project, not just for Mississauga, but anywhere in the GTA, including downtown Toronto. And they've really set the bar very, very high with a stunning design and a silhouette that's going to have a huge impact on the Mississauga skyline. It's going to have some of the best amenities we've seen in any condominium period across the GTA. And we're going to go through some of them shortly. Obviously, when you're 60 stories tall, then you're going to have some pretty spectacular views, and we have some great view photography to show you as well. And probably the most important aspect here is that the floor plans at MCity are top drawer. A lot of the times when we have unique exterior building design, we have to deal with floor plans that just don't quite work. But the team here have managed to give amazingly efficient floor plans without sacrificing the exterior design, which is a really great achievement. So let's break them down one by one. First, the amenities. And this is really an area where MCity have put a lot of emphasis, and the amenities that are offered are really going to blow Mississauga away. You can see there's an extensive list of options that will be available, but there was a couple that we really wanted to focus on and highlight. The first is the rooftop amenity on top of the podium, which includes this amazing outdoor pool and lounging area and a ton of seating and a splash pads for kids to enjoy. We don't see this kind of quality amenity on a rooftop in Mississauga. This is one that you may have seen this week because it's been making the rounds in the media. But MCity were also keen on making the outdoor space all usable all year round. And they've created this incredible, amazing outdoor rooftop ice skating rink with views of the other towers all the way around. And this is the first time we've actually seen anything like this, and something that we think is going to be a huge hit. And we really love this and think there's going to be a huge attraction for buyers and tenants in the future. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the views. So this first view is looking east. And looking east, you're going to be looking towards the Marilyn Monroe buildings and beyond. We think this view is going to be a very, very popular choice. Obviously, going south and southeast, we start to get views of downtown Toronto and Lake Ontario. We don't have views photography looking west because it doesn't exist yet. If you're going to be looking west, you're going to have amazing views of the MCity development, which over time is going to include some of the most striking designs and architecture that you're going to find anywhere in Mississauga. So no matter which way you're going to be facing, you're going to get some amazing views. So next up, we've got some sample floor plans to show you. Suites are going to range from 400 square feet to approximately 900 square feet, and prices, we know they're going to start from 200,000 and they're going to top out at approximately 700,000. So first, a disclaimer: these are only draft floor plans. These plans are subject to change, but what they do highlight is that the attention to detail that has been paid to bringing excellent floor plans to this project. So here's a look at the standard floor plate. What we love about this floor plate is that we see that every suite has nice and clean lines. They're nice and square, and that makes it so much easier to design high quality and efficient floor plans. There's 13 suites per floor, with the smaller suite facing north and the two larger suites facing southeast and southwest. You'll notice that the building runs north-south, so most of the suites will have either an east view towards Marilyn Monroe or west looking towards the MCity development. We're going to go through 4 sample floor plans, and that'll help give you an idea of what to expect next week. This first suite is a 1-bedroom suite with a media nook. It's 546 square feet, and you can see that it really is a great use of space. It's a west-facing suite with a really nice kitchen and living area. The bedroom has a sliding door at the glass, which means that there's going to be an increased amount of light that comes into the suite, and you have a bedroom with a huge walk-in closet. We think this one's going to be great. This next one is one that we anticipate will be probably one of the most popular floor plans. It's a 2-bedroom. It's a 1-bedroom plus flex room with 2 washrooms. We're at 632 square feet, where every square inch is usable and accounted for. The second room is highlighted as a flex room, and it can be used as a standalone den or a junior second bedroom depending on your needs. We're seeing a huge increase in demand in this kind of floor plan, especially with the 2 washrooms. This next suite, again, 2 bedrooms plus a media nook at 712 square feet. This again is designed to perfection. You've got 2 full baths, 2 beds, and you've got 2 bedrooms that are separated. We call this a split 2-bedroom design, and both bedrooms have access to a window. And we also have this highly efficient kitchen and living area. Again, that's a great 2-bedroom design. And finally, we have one of the larger corner suites. This one is 861 square feet with 2 bedrooms. Again, split design, and both bedrooms have a window. And again, this one comes with a flex room that we're finding is increasingly popular. This flex room in this one can be a den or a junior 3rd bedroom. Again, in this one at 861 square feet, you've got a very generous living and kitchen area. So the point of all this is that when you've got a nice and square floor plate to work with, it makes the design of these floor plans so much better, and we get really excited about excellent floor plans. So this is great news, and we're looking really forward to getting the rest of the package. So finally tonight, we're going to talk about some of the key dates and what's going to happen next week, and how you will actually be able to purchase a unit at M City Condos. So if you're going to take one thing away from us tonight, it will be this slide. This is the key with the way the market is right now. People who are prepared, people who are ready to move, they're going to be the ones that are able to jump on the best suites when we launch. So this will be the key takeaway for tonight. So on March 22, that's next Wednesday, this is the Platinum VIP broker launch. This is when we will be receiving all the floor plans and prices. The event for us is at around 12 o'clock. This is really when we expect the frenzy to begin, and why we're so adamant about making sure that you guys are prepared as prepared as possible in advance. As soon as we get the digital copies of the information, we'll be sending it out to you. And if you're on this call tonight, you will definitely receive the information from us as soon as possible. Between now and March 22nd, we want you to be prepared as possible. So if you have any questions in the meantime, or feel like we missed anything on the webinar tonight, please reach out to us directly. You all have our email addresses. Just reply to the emails that you've already been receiving from us, and we all get them. We check our emails 100 times a day. We'll respond to every single question that you have for us, so please be in touch. On March 22nd, you're going to have 2 options. If you know what suite you're interested in, a lot of you guys will already know if you want a 1-bedroom or a 1-bedroom and den or a 2-bedroom or whatever it is. You will already have that in mind going in. So if you know exactly what you're after, on that day you can send us an online suite reservation form, and we will send you the instructions on how to do that. At the same time, we're also arranging a private Platinum VIP client event where you can come and see us directly. Where you can come and see us, and you can submit your purchase request to us in person. We're still finalizing some of the details for the client event, but we'll definitely let you know the specifics on that closer to the time. The next 2 days between the Wednesday and the Friday, so March 22nd to the 24th, this is when we're going to be allocating the suites to you based on what you request. So again, if you're telling us you want a 2-bedroom on a mid-floor, we'll call you on the Thursday or the Friday and say you've got this 2-bedroom on the 20th floor. And then once you are okay with that suite will be placed on hold for you until the signings, which start on March the 25th. So again, what we want to highlight here is that the decision window for finalizing your decision is not that big. We expect most of the best suites to be snapped up between that March 22nd, March 23rd timeframe. So we want you guys to be as prepared as possible before then. So please get in touch with us before then if you have any questions. So that's everything we have for you tonight. And again, we want to thank you immensely for joining us this evening, and we cannot wait to work with you at M City Condominiums.